that slot actually flexes a lot on, some people opt to play a lot of Jaces and no Bidens. Some people kind of split it 2-2. You've got 3 Bidens to 1 Jace here. That's really the only cosmetic change. There's 1 rapid hybridization in the main deck, 2 cyclonic rifts, but rifts are actually a card that I've been picking up in play because when you have Nykthos in your deck and actually draw it, it's not too tough to overload cyclonic rift.
Not at all. And as we saw with the Moto playing earlier, I got destroyed by that.
Yeah, you got rifted pretty good.
Yeah, I got rifted
online.
pretty good.
How'd that taste?
It tastes pretty good.
Okay.
Tastes like a card that I want to play, but I refuse to play unsummons in my deck. So.
Oh boy, too proud.
Too proud.
Too proud for the unsummon effect.
It's too soon for unsummon. It's
all
only
right.
been around since what, beta? So maybe in 10 more years I'll pack one.
Hey, you never played Delver, did you? You don't seem like the Vapor
I played Mono Blue Wizards once.
Okay.
Yeah, and that's the top 8 invitational and quickly got murdered, but it was fun though. You beat me in that invitational, actually.
I did defeat you.
You did, yeah.
Bonfire of the Damned, a real skill tester.
It is, and actually
one of my favorite cards. Yeah.
Against a deck that I decided for the first time to play a deck that actually was vulnerable to Bonfire, and then I was Bonfired out.
Now I want you to know, because I have a very good recollection of what happened to you, and that you played a Talaran.
Yeah.
I think Ataxian probed me and saw that I had no land in my hand.
Yeah.
And I needed a 5th land. Not only did I need the 5th land for the bonfire, I needed a red source.
Yeah.
And that's when I drew the Rootbound Crag and killed all of your stuff and then killed you. So if you had forgotten what happened, I'm more than happy to remind you.
I appreciate it. Yeah,
okay, good. I'm glad we're on the same page here.
I need to take a cold shower now. I do not feel. I definitely feel. I feel like I was destroyed handily that match. And the funny thing is, you were the last person I lost to until the top 8. You were the last one I was slain by. I got pretty lucky. I got paired against a guy, second to last round, who scooped me in. Very nice, Anthony Eason.
Oh, I know Anthony Eason.
I call him Calcano Jr.
Yeah, he's good people.
Yeah, he looks kind of like Calcano.
Yeah, a little bit.
Brother.
A little bit.
Yeah.
Separated birth.
Yeah.
So you see both players laying out their hands. It's going to be interesting here. I think the important thing here is who's on the play for Game 3. Because if it's Ross, it's a great thing for his deck, and if it's Richards, it's obviously a great thing for his deck. So I think the play in this matchup is absolutely huge.
Yeah, yep. Tom Ross sporting his Fonz leather jacket.
That's nice, though, isn't it?
Yeah, definitely. He's definitely a classy-looking guy.
Here's a Fire Drinker Satyr. Let's see what the turn 1 play is. Is it a Judge Familiar or a Cloudfin Raptor? Because there's a big difference between the two. If it's a Familiar, it's going to try to trade with that Fire Drinker Satyr immediately.
Oh, yeah. Absolutely. And Mono Blue, I think you pretty much, if you have your curve, it's pretty impossible to beat if you have a Tidebender Mage or Frostborn Weird into a Night Veil Spectre into a Master of Waves. And it's not too unlikely. They're all 4 ofs, and they follow the curve. That's tough to beat.
So it is a Cloudfin Raptor, so that thing's not going to get to block this go-around. So let's see what Ross can do to add to his board. He's going to start by playing a Mountain. We know he has a Burning Tree Emissary in his hand. And there is Burning Tree Emissary, red-green mana add to the pool. There is a Legion Loyalist, and we are going to get in the red zone here for 3.
Yeah, and actually the only card that's weak in Adam's deck afterboard is probably Cloudfin Raptor, because everything else can pretty much trade with those things, kill, battle, but the first turn doesn't really do too much.
Yeah, interesting here now that Judge's Familiar is going to trigger. It's going to grow the Raptor. It's going to turn into a 1/2. Now there's another Judge's Familiar. However, Legion Loyalist, which you do see on the screen right now, when Battalion triggers, trample, first strike, and can't be blocked by tokens. Now, can't be blocked by tokens isn't relevant right now, but when Master of the Wave shows up, it certainly will be. But these creatures that are in play, you got a 1/2 and 2 1/1s. Those things aren't going to fight all that well.
No, not at all. And this is bad news for Adam here. I think is he going to play Madcap Skills?
And what he does, he plays a Burning Tree Emissary, and he actually triggers the Fire Drinker Satyr. So now here comes some blocks. Legion Loyalist is going to. It's actually going to lose the fight to Cloudfin Raptor, and the rest of the guys are going to come through. And the question is, does Tom Ross have a Titan strength to grow that? And he does, but Judge's Familiar is going to counter that.
Yep. Good series of play back and forth. These guys obviously have battled against each other's decks pretty often, I think. I don't think it's you come into these tournaments not knowing how to play against red or the blue deck. Let's see if he has a Night Veil Spectre here to level his Cloudfin Raptor and put a 2/3 on the board. Ain't bad against his deck.
No, not bad against his deck or this board position. It's kind of funny, actually. Last weekend I was bashing Judge's Familiar, and trust me, I will do so today as well.
Yeah.
But actually quite good right now. I mean, it being a 1/1 is fantastic. Can trade a Fire Drinker Satyr, but also actually countering a spell.
Yeah.
I mean, it counters a Titan strength there, which is a big deal. Also to evolve that Cloudfin Raptor. So the 1/1 bird is doing a lot, and now here's a Tidebinder Mage.
Yeah, definitely very, very good here. It's pretty much you're pre-sideboarded against red with your 8 cards that deal with red cards. So And he's not going to attack. Mono Blue doesn't. It's the control deck here, obviously. You're going to wait. You're going to just make sure you're not dead. You're going to keep things tapped. You're going to trade and block. And then you're going to play a pro red creature and get 7 1/1s or 2 1s in play. It's going to be bad news.
So Ross draws his card. He's going to batch with both Burning Emissaries. Again, he's staring down a board of a 2/2, a 2/3, and a 1/1. So that Cloudfin Raptor is the magical 3 toughness right now. Now, yes, Titan Strength can do some work here. And I kind of like the stack from Tom because he's certainly in a tough situation right now. And this is going to make it so that, Richards actually has to think about some things about how to block. Do I want to block? Maybe I have a Master of Waves in my hand I think I can do really well with. There's some decisions to be made when 2 Burning Emissaries are coming at you.
Yeah, you definitely block one with your 2/3, and I think you take the rest. I think you take the 2 damage.
Any merit to a double block here?
Yeah, that wouldn't be that bad either. I mean, you're pretty much giving yourself insurance. We're doing the old blackjack insurance here. If he has the pump spell, at least you take the creature out as well. But if he does double block, he's probably going to. Yeah, he's just going to make him use it. He's going to make him use it. All
right, well, there's Titan Strength yet again. So +3/+1. That means the Burning Emissary is going to live. There is a scry.
Are we drafting? Is this we got Titan Strength and Cloudfin Raptors and.
Don't forget Judge's Familiar.
Judge's
Actually,
Familiar?
That one just got cut a lot.
Yeah, I never played that card.
Yeah. Richard's going to draw his
Land
card.
Master of Waves is where he wants to be, but does not look like he has it. Maybe another tie up.
Frostborn Weird's good too.
God, how good is a 1/4? Huh?
Yeah, a 1/4 is insane right now.
Yep. Tom Ross is going to need the Sky to help him out. He's going to probably need Chandra's Phoenixes. Pretty good in this matchup here.
Yeah, the only problem here, though, is that his deck does not play Chandra's Phoenix.
All right, well, never mind. We cannot play cards we don't have in our deck list. So I'm looking at his list here. Madcap Skills is pretty. It's not that good here. He's got a bunch of creatures in play. Looks like we really need maybe just removal. I guess Lightning Strikes to start picking some of these off. This is a nightmare matchup looking at this list. He really doesn't have much at all.
Yeah, it's not very easy here. Ross is going to come across with 2 more emissaries. Tidebinder Mage is ready to trade for 1 to give him the Fire Tongue Crusader back. Well, Fire Tongue Crusader is just not very good in this board position. That's the problem. So Ross says, all right, that is fine. Put you down to 10. Let's trade guys. My Fire Tongue Crusader is going to come back to me.
Yep.
Let's see if he has anything sweet to follow up with.
So he doesn't block the 1/4. And I guess that guy being alive is more valuable to him than, I guess, baiting another trick here. But that would be the 3rd pump spell he used.
Yeah, that would be the 3rd of 4 Titan Strengths if he did have it. Now here's a Thassa,
that's
and not
why.
only that, that's a Thassa that's a 5/5 right now because a Devotion check, 2 from the Weird, 1 from each other's familiar, 1 from Thassa itself. That is a 5/5 indestructible.
The life totals are not. I think he's at 10, right?
Yeah, Richards is down to 10 right now.
Okay, so now he's going to disassemble here. He's going to make him back into just a little enchantment.
Yep. Lightning Strike takes down the Judge's Familiar. Yeah, sure, you can sack that Judge's Familiar, pay 1 more. Doesn't matter.
And in this situation, maybe we had to block here with the Frostform Weird. I don't know. This just seems like we banked on the reason why we blocked and confidently didn't block with the Frostform Weird is because we won our 5/5 next turn. But it was a very fragile board state because one creature removed and it's gone. It's back to a nothing.
I mean, take a look at the attacks here that Ross could have. If that's with everybody, Fire Tongue Crusader is probably going to get blocked by Frostborn Weird. Never mind. I'm going to shut my mouth and let Tom do his thing with the Madcap skills on that Fire Tongue Crusader. And now blocks are going to be very tough here for Richards.
I think you have to double block here. I just hope he doesn't have the 3rd Titan Strength.
Well, he's out of cards. That's the only card off the top of his deck.
I think you need a double block here.
I mean, double blocking here would take care of both of Richards' guys. It would take care of the Weird and the Familiar because Fire Tongue Crusader is a 5/2.
Yeah. I don't think you leave that Madcap skill Satyr in the board. I think you're just dead if you do that.
That leaves him boardless.
That's true. But he has card. What does he have in his hand? If he has a Master in his hand, and then just draws a land from the scry, I mean, he's back to he's back to business.
All right. Well, there is your double block on the Fire Tongue Crusader. So Madcap skills proving its worth. Richard's going to drop down to 4. Richard's board will just be a Thassa, so he's going to get the scry at the beginning of his turn. Ross's board, he's got 3 lands, a Burning Emissary, and a Rakdos Cackler. So we'll start with the scry.
You have to assume he has a Master in his hand because he's, what other spells could he have that would cost, a decent amount? Biden? I don't even think Biden, he leaves those in against his deck.
I'd be surprised if that's an after sideboard.
Yeah.
Could have a Domestication in his hand. As it looks like Richards is going to leave the top card of his. No, we're going to the bottom. Okay. Looks like he may leave it. He's going to draw a mystery card. It's a land, and I think it's a Master. Yep. And it is.
So now Tom, even though he's been dominant in this game, without Chandra's Phoenix, you just don't have the reach that a lot of these red decks have.
Now here's the big thing now. If Ross is able to top deck a Legion Loyalist, this game gets crazy difficult for Richards. It's actually a top deck Legion Loyalist. I think, Richards would just lose to a top deck Legion Loyalist.
He can only block. He would take 3.
He can only block with the Master, and then the guys get first strike and trample.
Oh, yeah.
So trample over, Master only has 1 toughness.
Yep.
So actually, that would actually do it, but it doesn't look like it is a Legion Loyalist.
Nope. That would have been pretty good, because you have to. I think Adam might have a second Master in his hand, which would be.
Catching a glimpse of it is either a second Master or a Thassa.
Thassa.
Those are one of the, those are the 2 options that he has in his hand.
Yeah.
That I noticed.
Yeah. All right. Let's see if Tom drew anything. He's just going to play it, and he did. He drew a.
It's a big question on what this card is.
Maybe an Ass Zealot. Maybe Lightning Strike.
It's a Madcap skills.
Pretty good.
Can he afford to attack?
Nope.
He can't.
Yeah,
He's past the turn back.
He was just simply double block here and be bad.
And now this is a tough spot to be in because now Richards is doing a bunch of scrying. And now he gets to control his draw step and actually find the cards that matter. More Masters, things of that nature.
Yeah, here's where the blue cards are going to be pretty good.
Oh, no. 4 mana again right away. Biden
So
Thassa.
he did leave Biden in play. Okay, or in his deck.
Check the devotion count. You got 2 from the Biden, 1 from the Master, and 1 from the Thassa. So Thassa's not on yet. Let's see what Ross draws this turn. Again, if he's able to find a Legion Loyalist,
and
that'll
actually,
do it.
Yeah, he could have. There's some other things he might have.
Yeah.
Let's see. Like, trying to look at his deck. God, how sick would like Electricity be right here? Get you. All right, let's see what he drew. He's thinking again, and it's a Firebrand Satyr, so he's going to add to the board. But it's not that good against a deck that keeps getting to scry. Not at all. So let's see here. See
2 mana. Tidebinder Mage is huge for multiple reasons. 1, tapping down that Rakdos Cackler. 2, turning on Thassa now.
Oh, he doesn't attack here. Maybe. I guess he's just playing very carefully.
I think I would have served with something.
Yeah,
there.
yeah. You get to draw a card too.
Yeah.
I sent one of my 2/1 tokens in. I mean, at this point, you don't want to sit around too long. You're at 4 life.
Yeah.
You don't want to hang out too long here.
Yeah, and now so I see why he did now because
yeah.
now the Biden's ability makes it so that both creatures have to attack, and it's going to be an ambush.
Yeah, he could have still, got one of those guys and drawn a card.
So Burning Emissary is going to take down one of those tokens. Fireturn Crusader is going to be blocked by Thassa, which means Ross is going to have to take 5. So I see why the no attack there. Yeah, maybe he could have stuck in 2 points of damage with that lone elemental that didn't block. But the Biden's ability actually becoming quite relevant in this game. We thought he might sideboard that card out, but given enough time, it's actually quite good.
Yeah. I mean, if you live to the later game where you're playing on turn 7 or 8, you're probably going to probably winning a little bit anyway, but, this definitely will put the icing on the cake. So Adam, driver's seat here. Tom is short of drawing back-to-back burn spells. It's not looking too good here.
Yeah, I'm with you. It's going to have to be back-to-back burn spells to be able to get the job done, and I'm not even quite sure if that – I don't know if he's going to have the time to do that. It's, Adam can play it in such a way that Tom only gets 1 more draw step.
Yeah, I think Tom has a mystery card, so it could be a burn spell. And if that's the case, he has outs. Otherwise, like you said, I don't think he's going to have time to really assemble a comeback here.
And if I'm Adam here, I think I just want to jam with everybody because, depending on what's in his hand, if he jams with everyone, he gets to draw
3 cards.
He gets to 4.
4
cards.
There,
yeah, the Tidebinder up there too.
Yeah, you don't want to give him time. Again, this is the big issue. He didn't draw a card either. He forgot his trigger there.
So Nightveil Spectre does come into play here. There's a Burning Emissary, trigger, nothing to do with the mana, pass the turn back, so you have to assume that Ross is holding a land now.
Yeah, this is why, again, if you ask me, why don't I ever play an aggro deck, this is it in a nutshell. You see how Tom is slouched in his chair right now with his hand on his head, kind of? I don't like doing that. I don't like.
You like being slouched?
I don't like being slouched with a hand on my head saying there's nothing I can draw and just have to burn spells. I don't like it. I don't like it at all. I want to have control over the game. You know what I'm saying? Control.
And that is going to do it. So Adam Richards does have control over the game and the match. Mono Blue Devotion defeats Tom Ross and his Boss Sly deck 2-1. Mono Blue Devotion moves on to 3-0. And what I feel is, as you mentioned, a pretty tough match for Boss Sly.
Yeah, I think if we, I think this is an easy game to do sports betting if we wanted to.
Yeah.
We have our matchups, I think. And Magic, like right now, the decks that should be winning. I mean, it's not a sweep. It's 2-1, but the decks that should be winning and matchup-wise are winning.
Yeah.
It's because the cards are just too good against each other. You have a 2-1 pro-red creature that puts in 3, 4, 5, 6 guys. I mean, if you're a red deck, how do you beat that? It's just real tough to beat.
You have to play